At HanStone Canada, in our state-of-the-art facility, we source the highest quality material to produce premium quartz surface. We're the only quartz manufacturer in all of Ontario. We're actually the largest quartz manufacturer in all of Canada, and our focus of distribution is all of North America. Here at the facility, which is about 250,000 square feet, we've got 2 manufacturing lines that have the capability of producing up to 3,000 slabs a week. The nice thing about quartz in our manufacturing process is that the way that we manufacture and put it together, it is non-porous in comparison to granite or marble. So that's an easy thing for the homeowner to deal with in terms of cleaning and what they can prepare on the countertops. Based on our recipes, we're going to create each pattern, and then we'll run that through our manufacturing process. We're receiving different aggregate sizes, different quality of materials. Everything is coming in specific to size, shade, color. We'll then hold that material either in silos or in hoppers. That's going to be available for our production runs. Everything is automated from that time period forward. All the raw materials are going to be loaded into the silos, the hoppers. They're going to be all weighed in through the load cells. Everything automatically gets sent up into the mixing deck. So that's going to be your first phase of the process, is your mixing. We're going to do 1 batch at a time. So we're talking about 8 to 9 slabs that we're going to do a pre-mix of. Then that batch is going to include all your raw materials. So your aggregates, which is the quartz, your sands, your powders. Then we're going to be adding in our chemicals, which include resin. Resin is the main ingredient other than the actual raw natural material. Once we've done the mixture according to the recipe and the process parameters, we're going to verify that mixture, ensure that it's up to the standards in terms of resin quantities, moisture content, and then we're going to be releasing it from the mixing department. At that point, you've got a 4-hour window where you can use that material. Otherwise, the chemicals, the resin compound that's in there starts drying up. So you've got a 4-hour window. We then take our mixture to the mold department, where we're going to distribute that pre-blended material into the molds. There we're going to create either a 2 centimeter or a 3 centimeter slab. We also have the ability at that point to add or introduce veining that's going to be blended throughout the slab. We've got new advanced robotics that allow us to create new patterns ranging from light veining to Calcutta-based veining. Then we put on the top mold, run it through the vibro press. The vibro press is doing 3 things. So it's pressing the material down to either the 2 cm or 3 cm thickness. At the same time, it's got vibration on the slab. And what it's doing is ensuring that all those raw materials, the resin, the powders, and the sands are filling in all those voids. It's also under vacuum. That way the vibration and the press cycle will complete the slab. This is going to give the operator an opportunity to go in and do first inspection of the slab. There we're going to be verifying for pattern applications, ensuring that there's no obvious non-conformances to the slab. Once we're happy there, we're then going to send the slab into the kiln oven. Once the slab's been cured, comes out of the oven, we're going to then demold the slab. Again, at that point, we're going to allow the inspectors to do a full inspection of the slab once it's been peeled, verify that there's no obvious non-compaction, cracks, warping of the slab, anything that the kiln oven in the previous process would affect it. Once we're content with the state of the slab, we're then going to send it to the next process, which is the cooling tower. If we work with the slab in a hot state, there's a possibility where it could crack on you or it can start warping and then later on cause issues. So putting it in the cooling tower for a period of 20 minutes allows for that slow, controlled cool down. Once that's done, it goes for another visual inspection. At that point, we got what is called a semi-slab. So the slab is in rough form, but it's a hardened slab ready for the next and final process. From there, we're gonna bundle the slabs, and we're gonna send that to the final process, which is the polish line. At the polish line, because we do have a rough slab, the first step that we're gonna take is we're gonna trim the slabs. We're gonna trim the sides, we're gonna trim the ends, ensure that there's no rough edges, sharp edges on that slab. Following that, we're gonna send it through calibrators. At that point, you've taken off any high spots, low spots, imperfections of the slab, and you're providing a nice clean surface for the polish. We've got two polishers. You've got your initial, and then you got your secondary. So your initial is just going to clean the slab, give it a nice shiny surface, but then you've got your secondary, which you can then decide on your level of gloss, or you can change the tooling to go to a leather finish, or we can do our newest availability is On Earth collection, which we can do a textured finish on it as well. We'll have two inspectors that will look at the slab, ensure that the patterns, the colors all match to what our goals are. We will place a label on it that shows all the history of the process through the facility, as well as, when it was made, the operator that made it, just to ensure that we're tracking quality of the slab. Once that's done, that goes into bundling, and then we'll ship that out to our warehouse facility and then use it for sale, availability, distribution.